Let's be honest. Society has trained you like a puppy. Sit. Stay. Be obedient. Wait for your turn. But what if I told you those rules weren't designed to help you win? What if they were designed to keep you in a neatly labeled box for someone else's benefit? All those virtues they preached, patience, being nice, staying loyal, what if they're just tools to keep you predictable, easy to manage, and ultimately, powerless? 500 years ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli saw the world for what it really is, and his insights are more potent today than ever. He understood a brutal truth most folks can't stomach. The world isn't won by the nice guys. It's won by people who understand the real rules of power. He saw that there's a silent war being fought every single day. In your office, in your social circle, in every conversation you have. It's a war fought with perception, influence, and the guts to bend reality to your will. Most people are just pawns in this game. They're moved by hands they can't see, controlled by rules they never signed up for. They live inside a cage and mistake the bars for the edge of the world. This video is the key to that cage. We're going to unlearn the 10 most dangerous rules that have kept you trapped, and we're going to do it using the forbidden wisdom they never wanted you to find. This isn't about becoming some evil villain. This is about becoming effective. It's about pulling back the curtain and seeing the raw, unapologetic machinery of human nature. Because once you see it, you can never go back to being blind. This is your wake-up call. Welcome to your first real lesson in power. Let's begin with the first and most foundational rule society whispers in your ear from day one. Fit in. Just be normal. Don't rock the boat. Don't make people uncomfortable. They sell it to you as the road to safety and acceptance. But this rule is the foundation of the cage. It's a trap, and it's designed to disarm your single greatest weapon, your individuality. When you try to fit in, you're willingly making yourself invisible. You're just another face in the crowd, another voice in a boring chorus, another cog in a machine you didn't build. The system loves this. Why? Not because it values you, but because people who conform don't disrupt the food chain. A predictable person is an easily controlled person. Machiavelli knew that real power is never found in the middle of the herd. It's on the edges. Society crushes genuine difference because it messes with the established order. The person who thinks differently, acts differently, and isn't sorry for it is a wild card. They can't be easily managed. So here's the forbidden move. Cultivate a reputation for being unapologetically yourself. I'm not talking about being an obnoxious jerk for no reason. A fool breaks rules out of emotion. A strategist breaks them with purpose. Stop sanding off your sharp edges to make everyone else comfortable. At first, it's going to feel wrong. The herd will try to pull you back with quiet disapproval or loud criticism. This is a test. Hold your ground. When you do, something incredible happens. The desperate need for approval starts to die, and in its place, real self-respect starts to grow. People might not always like you, but they will be forced to see you. You're no longer invisible. You're real. You have to know that your individuality is your strength, not your weakness. Now, let's confront the second dangerous rule, one of the most sacred and misleading lies society tells you. Honesty is the best policy. They teach you that spilling the truth at all times makes you a good person. Here's the part they leave out. In the real world of power, unfiltered honesty is a weapon you hand to your enemies. It's a liability that gets you crushed. The problem isn't truth itself. The problem is the naive idea that everyone deserves to hear it, and that you should broadcast it like a fire hose. The man who can't control his mouth loses all his leverage. He shows his entire strategy before making a single move. He's essentially handing his enemies a detailed map of how to take him down. Society doesn't respect radical honesty. It preys on it. People will take the truths you offer freely and turn them into weapons against you. Machiavelli knew this cold. He saw that human interaction is a strategic game. To reveal everything is to play chess with all your pieces visible while your opponent's queen is still hidden. The forbidden solution is to practice strategic silence and controlled exposure. This isn't about becoming a liar. It's about realizing that your thoughts, your plans, and your true feelings are your most valuable currency. Guard them. Learn to speak with intent. Before you reveal a weakness, ask yourself, who really benefits if I say this? Before you announce your next big move, ask, does telling people help me get it done, or does it just invite jealousy and sabotage? The most powerful move is often to just shut up. Silence creates a vacuum that other people will rush to fill. When you do speak, only reveal what makes you stronger. Machiavelli advised that a leader must appear honest, but should never be so chained to honesty that he acts against his own interests. Your reputation for integrity is a tool, and that reputation is built on the perception of honesty, which you control. Remember that your silence is power, and your words are weapons. This brings us to the third rule they use to keep you small. Always be humble. They say, don't get a big head, don't act too confident. Society sells humility as a virtue, but this is a dangerous half-truth. The humility they push is a tool to keep you down. It's designed to make you shrink, to doubt your own worth, and to automatically bow to others. This kind of extreme humility is a recipe for being invisible. When you constantly downplay your wins, you're training everyone around you to believe you have no strengths. A person who doubts themselves is easy to lead. A man who doesn't trust his own value will always accept less and settle for less. Machiavelli would have laughed at this. For him, a leader doesn't earn respect by apologizing for his existence. He earns it by projecting power and competence. The world doesn't move for the person shuffling forward with their head down. It parts like the sea for the one who walks with an unapologetic sense of the space they occupy. The forbidden move isn't to become an arrogant blowhard. It's to practice unapologetic self-possession. Real humility is a quiet confidence that doesn't need anyone else's applause. It's strength without shouting. Own your value. When you accomplish something, take the credit. A simple, firm thank you to a compliment is 1,000 times more powerful than deflecting. This is going to feel confrontational because you're breaking a deep social rule. Let people get uncomfortable. Their discomfort is proof that you're reclaiming territory that was always yours. The paradox is, the less you seem to need their approval, the more genuine respect you'll get. You must own your value before anyone else does. And what about the fourth rule, one of the most destructive of all? Be nice to everyone. Be agreeable. Avoid conflict. In reality, it's the sign of a future victim. Unconditional niceness is a weakness. It's an open invitation for people to walk all over you. When you're nice to everybody, you send a clear signal. You have no boundaries. People who are driven by self-interest
will quickly learn you're a safe person to disrespect. Power doesn't respond to softness. It responds to a backbone. Machiavelli famously said that if a leader can't be both loved and feared, it's much safer to be feared than loved. This isn't about being cruel. The fear he's talking about is respect. It's the fear of crossing a boundary that you have made crystal clear. Love is flimsy. It can vanish overnight. But respect, born from a firm defense of your boundaries, is solid as a rock. The forbidden solution is to ditch random niceness and adopt calculated kindness and enforced boundaries. Your kindness is a precious resource to be invested strategically. This means you learn to say no and not feel guilty about it. When someone disrespects you, you respond instantly, not with rage, but with a calm withdrawal of your attention. Kindness is only a power when it's a choice, not a compulsion. Your new code should be that your kindness is a gift, not a given. Your respect is earned, not automatic. Let's move on to the fifth rule, the one that keeps you a permanent follower. Always seek permission. Remember in school when you had to raise your hand to speak. Society has programmed you to wait for the green light. This rule is the ultimate leash. Obedient people wait for permission. Powerful people take territory. The system rewards the person who strategically jumps the line to get what they want. Every great leap forward in history was driven by people who acted without permission. They decided it was their time and made it happen. Machiavelli understood that fortune favors the bold. He argued that waiting for the perfect moment or for someone's blessing is a guaranteed loss. The one who hesitates is finished. The one who acts, trusting their own gut over the nervous whispers of the crowd, is the one who forges their own fate. The forbidden solution is to act first and ask for forgiveness later, if at all. This is a radical shift in your thinking from "can I" to "how will I?" Assume you already have the authority to solve the problem, to grab the opportunity, to lead the charge.
At work, don't wait to be handed the star project. Find a problem nobody's fixing, create the solution, and present it as something you've already started. Take the risk, and you get the reward. The potential fallout from failure is almost always less damaging than the guaranteed mediocrity of doing nothing. You do not wait for your time to come. You bring it into existence. The sixth rule society romanticizes is unconditional loyalty. Be loyal no matter what, they tell you. You're taught to stand by your friends, your company, your team, even when it costs you. This is a dangerous fantasy. Blind loyalty isn't a virtue. It's a form of slavery you put on yourself. When your loyalty is unconditional, you stop being a partner and you start being a tool. When people know you'll stick around no matter how they treat you, they stop valuing you. You've given away your single greatest bargaining chip, the power to walk away. Machiavelli saw human relationships for what they were: cold, pragmatic, and based on self-interest. He wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, and quick to run from danger. He understood that for most people, loyalty isn't a high moral code. It's a calculation of what's in it for them. The forbidden solution is to understand that all loyalty is conditional, and your first loyalty must always be to your own self-respect and your own mission. This doesn't mean you become a traitor. You can be an incredibly strong ally, as long as the terms of the alliance are met. The condition is mutual respect. The condition is shared goals. Treat your loyalty like a contract, not a blank check. Constantly reevaluate your relationships. Powerful people don't give their loyalty away for free. They align it with people who help them advance. When that alignment ends, the loyalty is withdrawn. It's not personal, it's strategic. The possibility of losing you is what makes having you valuable. Your loyalty is a privilege you grant, not an obligation you owe. This leads us directly to the 7th piece of toxic advice. Always play it safe. Be careful. Don't take risks. They sell you a life where the main goal is just to avoid failure and stay comfortable. But here's the brutal truth. Playing it safe is the slowest, most guaranteed way to die a death of mediocrity. Safety is an illusion that costs you your growth, your respect, and your legacy. The man who avoids all risk also avoids all major rewards. His life flatlines. He chose safety, and in doing so, he chose to be small. Machiavelli's entire philosophy was an attack on this mindset. He saw human greatness as a war between your courage and audacity, and the chaos of luck and fate. A man who plays it safe gives all his power to fate. But the man of action is a force of nature himself. He gets that risk is the currency of power. Success doesn't come to those who wait patiently. It must be seized with bold, decisive, and often risky action. The forbidden solution is to embrace calculated risk as your primary tool for growth. This is not about being a reckless gambler. It's about becoming a master of assessing risk. A fool takes blind risks based on emotion. A strategist takes calculated risks based on a clear goal. You have to train your risk tolerance like a muscle. Start with small, calculated risks, where the fallout is manageable. Every time you step out of the comfort zone and see that you didn't die, your courage grows. You learn that failure isn't a death sentence, it's just data. Remember this warrior's creed: no risk, no respect. And then there's the 8th rule, a subtle trap many of us fall into. Over-explain and justify your actions. Society teaches you that being understood is the same as being right. This is a trap. Over-explaining obliterates your authority. It signals a lack of confidence. It puts you in the position of a defendant on trial, begging the judge for approval. The second you start justifying yourself to a challenger, you've lost. You've handed them control. Powerful people let their actions do the talking. Their presence is the only explanation required. Machiavelli knew that arguing with people who are unwilling to see your point is a complete waste of energy. In these moments, silence isn't weakness, it's a weapon. It communicates that you're so certain you don't feel the need to defend yourself. This unnerves people. It makes you look confident and in control. The forbidden solution is to understand that true forgiveness is for you. It does not erase the consequences for them. You can forgive someone internally to get that poison out of your own system, but you must enforce an external consequence to protect yourself and command respect. Forgive, but never forget the lesson. And always enforce a boundary. When someone betrays your trust, you can forgive them, but the consequence is that they no longer get your trust. When a friend constantly wastes your time, you forgive their carelessness, but the consequence is you no longer make yourself available. By separating forgiving from waiving consequences, you go from being a target to being someone who is not to be messed with. Burn this into your mind. Your forgiveness is for you. The consequences are for them. And finally, we arrive at the 10th and most poisonous rule. Be selfless and always sacrifice. They teach you it's noble to sacrifice your needs for others. They praise the selfless person, but that praise usually serves them, not you. Constant self-sacrifice is just a slow-motion suicide of your own ambition. When you're always the one giving in, always the one to compromise, you create a dynamic of total disrespect. You're signaling that your energy is endless and your dreams are optional. This doesn't make people love you more. It makes them value you less. Machiavelli's entire worldview is built on enlightened self-interest. A leader who sacrifices his own power to look virtuous will get conquered fast. A prince's first job is to secure his own power. This applies directly to your life. You are the king of your own kingdom. Selflessness that ruins your own kingdom isn't a virtue, it's a catastrophic failure of leadership. The forbidden solution is to embrace enlightened self-interest and make your own mission your #1 priority. This is not the same as being selfish. Selfishness is just taking. Enlightened self-interest is recognizing that by making yourself strong, successful, and secure first, you're in a much more powerful position to actually help others. The moment you start doing this, the people who benefited from you being a doormat will call you selfish. Take it as a compliment. It's a sign that you've finally broken their control over you. You are no longer their resource. You are your own. Affirm this with the force of a king. I respect myself first. I build my kingdom first. Those 10 rules we just destroyed are the invisible bars of a prison built in your mind. Society put them there to keep you quiet, predictable, and in your place. For years, you were told they were virtues. Now you see them for what they are: chains. Breaking them isn't about becoming a bad person. It's about seeing the world with clarity. It's about understanding the world as it is, not as we're told it should be. Machiavelli's wisdom isn't a manual for becoming a monster. It's a survival guide for a world that can be monstrous. This knowledge gives you a choice. You can try to go back to the way things were, but you'll always know you're being played. Or you can start using these lessons one by one and transform yourself into someone who moves through the world with power and purpose. Someone who is no longer a pawn, but a player. The journey starts right now with one single move. Which of these 10 rules has had you in a chokehold the longest? Which one are you going to shatter this week? Declare it in the comments below. Write down the rule you are breaking and claim your first taste of freedom. And if you're ready to keep going, to sharpen your mind, and build a will of iron with more of this forbidden knowledge, subscribe to the channel. The world respects strength. It's time to build yours.